Welcome back to Great Desolate Gaming. I'm glad you decided to join me today. I just wanted to apologize real fast as I know this video is going to be a bit shorter than some of the other ones I've uploaded. And I'm sorry, but due to life and having to help out with my family and whatnot, I haven't had a lot of time to do the editing that I normally would be able to. Don't worry though, next week's video should be at least twice as long. With that out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to Mario 64 120 Stars Part 3. Alrighty, getting right back into the gameplay, we head downstairs, and now that we have the key, we can access the basement. At this point, I head over to the store drawer and realize I already have enough stars to open this store as well. I guess when it was telling me earlier that I was able to fight Bowser, it was second form Bowser, not first form Bowser. But we're going to save him for later, as that would kind of defeat the purpose of me trying to get 120 stars. We finally take the tour to the underground sewer area and find Mips, who I know can give us a star. Now, it does take us a solid minute of running around, but we do eventually catch him and get our star. We then make our way into the side room with this water pit. Once you swim through it, it leads you into another room with two pillars standing out of the water kind of suspiciously. If you ground pound them, it drops the water down and leads you into a secret area. And by a secret area, I mean the moat outside of Peach's castle, which is now mysteriously drained. And, well, here's where our next secret area is, and this one happens to be the one that has the invisible cap. I did happen to fall a few times here into the pit, but since the lives don't go down, I'm not counting it towards the death counter this time.
That's fine, you'll probably be seeing more of me later anyways. Ha ha ha.
Here's a list of all the 8 red coins if you don't happen to see them on your way through this level on your own. As you just saw, the first 2 coins are on those first 2 lips there, and the second 2 are at the bottom here on these 2 lips as well. The 5th is on the left side of the seesaw, and the 6th one is just on the right side. The 7th red coin is in between the 2nd and 3rd rotating platforms right after the seesaw. And lastly, the 8th is right here at the end past the button. Finally, we hit the button, grab the invisible cap, and get our star. Now, out of curiosity, I did come back and decide to jump on that hole at the very end, and if any of you were wondering, yeah, it's just a pit that drops you down. It's probably just a soft lock procedure just to be safe. Anywho's, I decided we should probably go and round out our cap collection by getting the metal cap. For those of you who don't know or have never tried, to get the metal cap it's quite simple. You just take the left path at the beginning and go towards Nessie like you would normally for the first star. Instead of going for the first star though, you take Nessie and you go all the way to the back by riding on its head, and all you have to do to get up there is ground pound its back. Once you're on top of its head, you can guide it by facing the direction you need to go, and you should be able to get to those double doors with no problem. Once you get through the double doors, you'll find a big room with a portal that looks similar to the one you entered to get inside of here. With that being said, this one leads into an entirely different area where you can get the metal cap. Honestly, this one was pretty easy. All you had to do was jump across the floating rocks on the water and make your way to the end where the button was. Hit it, get the cap, and the 8 coins were pretty simple as well. The first 2 were right there behind those 2 pillars in that little cubby. The second 2 were right there next to the button as well. The last 4 coins are all just kind of floating around in the bottom of the water. Just grab the metal cap, pick them all up, and the star will spawn right next to you as well. Real quick before moving on, we decided to go ahead and interrogate this Toad, and he gives us a star out of fear of us beating him up much like his brothers earlier in the series. Now that we finally have the last 2 caps, we decided to go back to Jolly Roger Bay and collect the last star that we're missing. This star is quite simple. Once you have the metal cap, all you have to do is go into the cave at the bottom and grab the metal cap, run outside, and you can walk through that stream quite easily to collect the star. We decided to go back into Big Boo's haunt to collect the last star we've got there, as well as if we get that one, it's going to round up all the stars that we have on the top floor. All we had to do for this one was grab the invisible cap from the second floor, go back into the room we just entered, and jump up to the top floor, where King Boo generally would have landed. All we have to do this time, though, is go through the painting, and there's the secret room where Mr. I is waiting for us. We spin around him a couple times real quick in succession as you normally would, and he pops like a balloon, giving us our last star of Big Boo's Haunt. Without further ado, we press onwards into Lethal Lava Land, which is course 7, strangely enough. You would think that with it being the next most obvious one, it'd probably be course 6, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I knew it had to be too good to be true. We were 5 minutes into the video, which was about 30 minutes at this point, and this was the first death we suffered of the run. For today at least. I swear these fire mechanics are really annoying. We jump right back in to Bully the Big Bully, and this is where we suffer the second death of the run, which is kind of surprising as I don't know that as a kid I died to this guy a whole lot, so I was kind of embarrassed by this and decided to keep going in hopes that I could actually beat him this time. The next death was similar to the first in me not really knowing the fire mechanics all that well, but whatever. On the fourth attempt, we finally got back to the Big Bully and pushed him into the lava where he belongs after all that suffering he put me through. The next star was to bully all the little bullies, and I went on a bit of a genocide route, not realizing that the bullies I needed to bully were on that small island at the very end. Although, in the end, there's not really much difference between this one and the last one, as when you defeat all the bullies on the island, a big one spawns, and you gotta take that one out to get the star anyways. Pretty much the same as the last one, just extra steps. When it comes to the 8 red coins, there's really not much to say. All of them are on this shifting, floating puzzle, and there's really nothing else to do than just grab them all and get the star. All things considered, hot log rolling is a fairly simple one. All you have to do is work your way around the edge to this fenced off area where this giant log is that you're supposed to roll on, and I decided, nah. I'm just gonna jump over and damage boost because if I remember how annoying this thing is, it's not worth my time. This is the first of 2 stars that are required for us to jump straight into a volcano. Now, if this were normal circumstances, I would say probably shouldn't do this, but with it being Mario and all, it's probably fine. No, wait, maybe I should be saying that, as I died once trying to get up to the star that wasn't even the one I was going for. We make our way back up the correct path this time and make it up there with little to no problem getting our next star. The second star is much of the same, where you're just trying to traverse a path, but this time it has elevators. Woohoo! And fire, of course, and you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't die to fire. Or almost, at least. Ha! Gotcha, death counter. I didn't actually manage to die to fire this time like I thought I did. For some reason I have a memory of that, but I guess it didn't happen looking back at the footage now. Up next, of course, is the 100 coin star because I saved it for last, because why not? I don't like myself, I guess, but anyways, who cares. The 100 coin star isn't too difficult. I did die a few times, mainly because of shell jank and fire, of course, but I'll just show you them here. If I had a nickel for every time I died to that box jump, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. With enough endurance and 3 more deaths under our belt, we did finally manage to get 100 coins by ending out in the volcano, and we finally get out of here. Up next on our radar is this painting that mysteriously looks like a wall. Oh yeah, that's just Shifting Sandland. Honestly, I wish I knew the speedrunning trick to try and catch the bird consistently, however I didn't at the time, so I kinda just had to move on and get him like a casual player. We do eventually manage to get the bird, but not before dying, of course. Yeah, so I might have forgotten to mention that I actually ended up dying 6 times. No, you did not hear me wrong, that is 6 times. For some reason, Shifting Sandland was one of the more struggles for me, as I just couldn't seem to figure out the wings cap mechanics all of a sudden, and the sand just insta-kills you, so it's quite a bit of a pain. As I said before though, after a bit of a struggle, I did finally manage to kill the bird, and it so much deserved it, and get its star. The next star, the star atop the pyramid, is as simple as it sounds. All you have to do is make your way to the very top and get the star that's inside this little sliver here, and you're all good to go. The next one is the star inside the pyramid. Also not a very difficult one. All you really have to do is go inside this little hole here that I use the wing cap for, and climb your way up to the top, doing a little bit of parkour and trying not to die to some of the rock guys. I don't remember their names all of a sudden. We do actually manage to get up here on our first try without dying a single time, which is kind of surprising all things considered, but we're gonna take it. The next star requires us to stand on all four of the pillars and go inside the pyramid through the top. And I mean the very top this time. Now, we did kind of mess up here and die twice, but that's due to shell physics and, you know, just the game's mechanics in general. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But we are strong, much like the Koopa shell we ride upon its back. Now, we get back into the level, right up the pillars again, and the RNG gods decide to be favorable, as they don't destroy our shell this time, like they did so many times in the past for no reason. Falling into the hole on top of the pyramid, we finally make our way down to, well, where does this lead to? Oh yeah, a strange hole. And, oh right, the Knuckle Attack boss fight. I'm gonna let this one play out a little bit, as this fight was kinda tough, but all things considered, not too bad. Okay, who am I kidding? Other than a couple of close calls, this fight wasn't too bad, but as a kid, this fight was one of the tougher ones for me, honestly, but as an adult knowing the mechanics a little better, it's not that hard. I don't know what it is with me in those red coin sections, but this one also was a little bit of a bane. I actually died 5 more times, and here they are in quick succession, right next to each other. Anywho's, here's our successful attempt at getting the 8 red coins, and the locations of where they're at as well. The first one was right here in this little Goomba pavilion. I kinda just stole it out from underneath their nose. The second one we collected in no particular order was the red coin next to the pillar at the very beginning of the level. We make a bit of a loop, and the third coin becomes the one that is next to the flipping cubes. And since we're already here, let's go ahead and grab the one that's right next to them as well. The fifth one we grabbed was in a pond just past where the rocks were. The next one is above the pillar that's just after the pond. The seventh one was by the pillar that was actually by the pond this time. And the last one took me a second, but I totally forgot that it was right at the beginning. All you had to do was turn around and just not fall off the edge, and you could get it pretty easily. Last on our list, other than the 100 coin star, is the Secret of the Pyramids, which is kinda odd considering everything here has really been a secret. And honestly, this one took me quite a while to get because I don't think I've ever actually gotten this one in a casual playthrough before. After taking a second to go deal with something, I jump off the path and collect this coin on the quicksand here, and it gives me a 1. Well, seeing that, I figured that's probably where the secret is, and follow the path a little further down, and we get a 2. I look around for a bit and realize there's not really any way for me to get up any higher to collect these other coins without, you know, just climbing the pyramid like regular. And obviously decide to jump off into a pit and die, because that's the logical solution. Anywho, I make my way up to the top, collect the last few coins. I do fall off a few times, but we do manage to get them and gain our next star. Last but not least is our good old friend, the 100 coin star, of course. And who could not forget the death counter, of course, also. On our successful attempt, we managed to collect about half of what we needed outside, and then make our way inside, collect what was left by murdering some Goombas and picking up coins off the ground, and we got the star pretty easily. Sorry for the sudden interruption. As I said before, I'm sorry that this was a shorter video, but I kinda just ran out of time, and I really want to keep this consistent schedule of uploading on Fridays. That way you guys know when I'm gonna be uploading a new video for you to listen to. And I hope that you appreciate that, because sometimes people don't always have a consistent schedule, and I know it makes it easier sometimes. Here's our current standings. In stars, we have 58. In deaths, we have 60, which means that we finally passed our star rate in deaths. Woohoo! And that's only going to get greater from here on out. Surprised it hasn't happened sooner, to be honest, though. And gameplay time, we have about 5.5 hours. Not too bad, all things considered. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and with that, peace. Y'all guys have a good day.